Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back again. Y'all already know what time it is. It's your main man, DJ Premium J. And as always, with my player partner and co-host.
Floyd B, Who's Up Sports, for the culture, by the culture. We back at it once again.
Back at it once again, and this time, very, very special guest. As always, we don't do the small things, only do an LRG around here, large, you know what I'm saying? Extra large, matter of fact. But today we got not a contender, but I'm gonna just go ahead and speak it like this. I'm gonna say future champion now. Is that okay with you?
That works.
That works? That's good? Okay. We got a future champion here. We talking about a storied background, sports background. I mean, a supreme athlete. We talking about a national gold medalist for the U.S. national team. We talking about a bronze medalist. We talking about somebody who's led a team that was, I want to say, top 25 in the nation in rebounding. We blending into another sport here. You know what I mean? But I can just go off a list of accolades. But today we have none other than Miss Danielle Perkins.
Man, honored.
Howdy.
I love it. I like that. I like the howdy. We in Texas, so it matched. Jay, it's perfect. We good.
Hey, man, look, she keeping it modest right now, but let me tell y'all how it goes. In that ring, I'm gonna tell you this, Danielle, I didn't watch a few of your fights. That's what all I'm gonna say. You keep it modest, cool, you calm on the outside of the ring, but I see your feet work. I see the hands. I've seen you pull out an Ali shuffle. Or the Danielle shuffle. That's what we call it.
That's what we gotta call it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I got it from Ali, so I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna hold on to that.
And respectful. She's respectful as well. For the OGs, the GOATs, that's what we need out here.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all youngins don't know what y'all talking about and doing.
Nah, they still way behind this jump.
Yes, sir. But today, man, let's just go ahead and get into it. I want to get into your background first before we get into anything else. We got something real huge and big that's up and coming, the reason why we're here. But we still want to get into who you are because, as they say, the storyline sells the fight.
It's true.
So, Danielle, I do know right now you are training and you are hailing from H-Town right now. But you are from New York, am I correct?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York.
BK all day. Y'all BK all day.
Way, man.
BK all day.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm not from upstate New York. I'm from Brooklyn. I hate when people say I'm from New York and they're from Schenectady or freaking Buffalo. That's not New York. That's New York State. You get a discount on your taxes. I pay up front 40%.
Come on. She said checks. Tell her where she from.
We definitely gonna get into that business too. So
okay.
We heard that business background.
Yeah, I got some education.
Hey. You took advantage.
Definitely took advantage.
A lot of y'all don't take advantage, man. You get that. You get you something free. Take advantage, man. Don't
shoot.
Yeah, don't
sell
just.
it short.
I'm cheap. If it's free, it's for me.
Hey, come on. I love that.
That's what I'm talking about. But so, in Brooklyn, New York, how was your background? Tell me a little bit about your upbringing. 2-parent household, sibling,
Yeah, so there's 3 of us. I have an older brother and a younger sister. My mom and my dad were people of the community. My mom ran an after-school center for the kids in the neighborhood.
Awesome.
And my dad was a science teacher. In addition to that, they did some really good real estate investment that allowed us to go to private school. Because our neighborhood, essentially, we grew up in like a war zone, is essentially why, I have like this tough exterior because if you ever met my sister, you would think she grew up in LA. But it's only because like she actually got the sheltered experience growing up, as for like, my upbringing. I didn't get that. Like a lot of what I saw and a lot of what I had to deal with growing up was essentially just like shock and also like trauma in our neighborhood because we didn't have trees. We had crack pipes. So that's essentially how, we grew up. Well, I grew up. My sister didn't.
So let me ask you, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me ask you, were you, in a sense, the protector? Like, were you the person that stood up for you and your siblings, or?
Well, I mean, my brother, he went to boarding school. So like my sister never really had any fights. I just, my mom made it very clear that I needed to take care of my little sister. So
Y'all were polar opposites. Would you say?
completely.
Wow. Now, see, I did some research on your sister.
You
too.
saw
I
it, yeah.
See, she traveled the world into the freezing cold.
Yeah, she's very different. She's very different. But my sister never had a fight. And I think that is best. Like, not everybody is built to be fighting in the street. Also, I think that it's important that one, especially the older sister, I feel like is always a little bit tougher than the younger sister, just in general. But in our environment, it was best that I stood on business to make sure that my sister sister was safe, because my mom was definitely not going to be tolerating Jules having a fight.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, not okay.
She's the princess.
She's the princess.
She's, I mean, look, straight A student, always has been. My sister's a biomedical engineer. My brother is, he went to the Army, but he also got his degree in engineering. So I really didn't like school. I hate to say that. I actually thought it was a waste of time growing up. We had to, I mean, it's just, I mean, granted, I mean, I do have my master's, so I can say that when you find something that you're interested in, you feel more comfortable, and also changes your perspective on school. But school initially seems like oatmeal. It's just trash.
Oh, wow. Okay, education. Teachers, cover your ears on this one. So it's all good. It's all good.
Like when you're at the dinner table and you eating some broccoli or some peas or something, you gotta finish the plate.
Yeah.
You gotta finish the plate.
Yeah, you won't get dessert.
Nah,
You definitely won't get dessert.
Exactly. So I hear you saying it was a rough background growing up in Brooklyn, New York. Let's get that correct, as she said.
Hold on, Jay. She from Brooklyn, so you got to tell me your top rappers. You got to tell me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Maybe a little controversial.
Okay.
Hey, I live for controversial. So let's get it.
All right. First and foremost, Biggie, number 1.
Okay. That's a
All
solid
right.
one.
Jay-Z, number 2.
Okay.
Nas, number 3.
Okay.
That being controversial.
That's a solid top 3.
Talib Kweli, number 4.
Oh,
It's respectable.
Okay.
And Q-Tip.
Okay.
Okay.
Tribe. So you a big Tribe fan growing up?
Yeah, good music only.
Okay.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad.
Yeah, I want to say,
yeah,
unfortunately, but
Very biased.
if I had a number 6, it definitely would be Lamar. Lamar would make number 6.
Kendrick.
K-Dot.
See, that's my big thing with people nowadays. Are we gonna be a victim of recency bias here? Are we just gonna jump into putting the newer guys of the new age into that storied history?
No one likes Drake.
Wait. Well, that's hold on.
This is her interview.
It's my opinion. It's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
And you share with a lot of people.
I know.
You share with a lot of people.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah, man, we love your opinion.
And I don't want no problems, but Drake's better.
We're gonna keep the interview rolling. We'll keep the interview rolling. Look, I got a question also. When was your first fight? Like not in the ring, just in the streets. What happened? Break it down to me.
Oh man, I do remember this.
Oh yeah.
So I was in preschool.
Okay, way back like that.
All right, I was in preschool. And there were a lot of tricycles. Like more than enough. More than people. Okay. And this
like a bully story.
It's not.
Okay.
I mean, maybe, listen, I was being bullied.
Okay.
So I was riding this tricycle and they had like this circle that you had to ride in. So everyone was off to the side and I decided I was going to go to the tricycle. So I start riding and then this kid comes over and he pushes me off the tricycle. Immediately I got up and I start wrestling him to the floor and I beat him up. And then my mom, when she comes to pick me up, for some reason, I'm getting talked to as if I was in the wrong. So my mom's a very reasonable person. I think that's part of the reason my personality is the way it is, that I always feel justified by my actions, because my mom was like allowing a lot of this on early on where I could talk to her about it. And then, of course, now I'm off the hook. So I told her what happened, and she was like, all right, so he hit you first. I said, essentially. Yes.
So your very first fist fight was with a male?
Oh, technically not a male. He was a boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a young male.
He's a young buck.
Was he preschooler too?
He was also in preschool.
Oh,
so we were 4 years old.
4 years old.
No one would categorize him as a man, right? But he's a young boy, fresh out the womb, 4 years.
So let me ask you this then. We got the very first fist fight here on record.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first fist fight that you had where you like, oh, I got these. I'm pretty nice with it.
All right.
Yeah, we want to talk about
this one was pretty messed up.
Oh yeah, we here for it. We want all of it.
Yeah, this is pretty messed up. So I had to go to court with my mom. And this is on Geralman Street. So I go with her to this court thing she has to go to. And she's all rattled about it and everything when we leave. So she goes to this diner across the street. And most diners in New York, which is not something that is not even like a thing here. Like, in order to use the bathroom at a restaurant, you have to be a patron.
Yeah.
Right. So it's crazy here. Like, you would think, if I gotta pee, I just go to the bathroom. Yeah, not in New York. You gotta give them money to use the toilet. So my mom has a way around this, she thinks, right? So me and my sister walk in after her. She orders a coffee, goes to the bathroom, and then she skedaddles. She straight walks out, doesn't pay for the coffee. So the dudes behind the counter is two Arab dudes behind the counter. And they come out as my mom's coming out, like if they're about to go after her.
Right.
So I was like, what's the issue? And then, like, she didn't pay for the coffee. So I was like, how much is the coffee? Like $1.20, $1.25, right? So I pull the money out, and the dude goes to, like, grab me. In my mind, I'm like, well, what could you possibly think the outcome of this is going to be?
Oh, my gosh.
So the two dudes, they try to, like, lock me in the restaurant, and my sister, like, starts to walk out after my mom.
How old are you at this time?
Maybe, like, 25.
Okay, it's adulthood.
I'm an adult. They're an adult, whatever. And so it's like in this small space. And I tell them, I was like, you don't want to do this. Like, this is not a good idea. Right? So the one dude comes across, I grab him by his shirt, just like body him. Then the other dude, he like tries to get behind me, and I like, I don't know what my mind was going through, but like step on his foot, and I like press him in his chest, start punching him. And this scuffle goes on for a while. And as I turn around and I have them in the corner, I realize I'm still like kind of holding on to this briefcase. Like, what the fuck is this other hand doing?
Right.
Yeah. So
hold up.
Backed up in the corner.
Yeah. So this is what happened, right? So one dude, his face is a little messed up. And the other dude, like, I done ripped his shirt off and like messed him up a little bit. But the police come, and they come in to arrest me.
Right.
And they're like, oh, that I attacked. So they had to go to the CCTV to find out what happened, right? And then, of course, they let me go. But I was about to go to jail because they thought that I attacked them.
Yeah, but it's all self-defense. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so, like, the people from the kitchen started coming out, and like, I was just like, of course not prepared, but like really rattled about the situation. Like, I'm blaming the police because, like, they're not here to protect black people.
Right.
Like, losing my mind, right? Unfortunately, like, they were just doing their job. And they were like, I was like, I want to press charges. And I'm like, he's like, for what? What are you pressing charges for?
Right.
No, but I want my money. I want something. Y'all gonna pay me for this inconvenience.
Yeah, I messed up my whole day.
Hey, this is one thing I've learned so far. Busting in with that, she's out there checking.
You gonna pay me.
You gonna pay me. and she bought that chick, and you don't want to mess with her, man. She's not nothing to mess with. I mean, I think just coming from Brooklyn, does that bring that grittiness out? I mean, I know you're not inviting it or you're not projecting it, but like, like, all right, you gonna stop playing with me. I mean, what is that? Does that come from the upbringing or?
I just feel like in general, like it's all like what I was always taught is to be respectful. But however, if someone crossed that line, you have to be able to want to fight. Like you can't like starting fights is a level of disrespect. Also, like talking to people crazy is disrespectful. However, if someone invites disrespect, you meet them with the utmost disrespect. Oh. So if you want to put your hands on somebody, I feel like that's like it'll bring the crazy out of anyone. No, unless you're absolutely soft. If you're absolutely soft, then yes, you will just be beat up and life is going to be very terrible and you're never going to really get far unless you find somebody very strong to lift you up. But I don't think, listen, the old ladies in Brooklyn, if you run up on them, you're going to get bit, you're going to get scratched, you're going to get kicked. They're not going to stand there and tolerate you just trying to rob them. So robbing like any old lady in New York, be prepared. She may not win, but she's going to be like a raccoon in the corner and fight you to the very end.
You can't remember that.
Nah, for sure. If Brooklyn can withstand all that weather and all that, I'm telling you, they built for it.
Man, so you talk about it. I'm cold right now.
Right. And it's different.
Anytime it go under 60, I'm like, why are we going outside? No, it's too cold.
It's ridiculous here.
Let me ask you something. Now, I hear you on your fist game was nice in the beginning. I want to know now. This is all just your own personal skill. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Nobody was. What I mean by that is nobody was training you at this time.
No, I wasn't getting any boxing training.
Okay. That all came later. Am I correct? Okay, so did anybody at least? You know how it is growing up inner city as a African American kid. Did anybody try to show you how to throw the hands, or did anybody?
No, it looked crazy in the beginning. You were just getting thumped. It didn't make any. It was not anything that anyone would have trained. If you didn't know how to slip, you was getting thumped.
No, straight street fight. Straight
absolutely. Yeah, you also might get hit by something.
Right.
What? Anything with cell phone, remotes, anything. You can listen. Definitely a game controller. If we playing the game, you get crunched with a game controller for sure. Absolutely.
Shout out to my WWE fans, man. Might get hit with a chair.
Nah, chair was nasty.
You was getting thrown.
Okay, so let's speed up a little bit. Let's go from the obviously your fist fighting background. You just on your own. Let's start to get more into your athletic background. So, as I understand, you were a Adidas All-American. Am I correct?
Yeah, in high school. Yeah, for sure.
And what position did you play for the people out there that don't know?
3, 4, 5. 5 actually, because I think when I went to All-American camp, it was kind of strange because you kind of play multiple positions. And when I left my AAU team and I got to camp, I was so tiny. I was like, wow, these like, you don't think about the size of somebody when, you're walking through the hallway. Like, you generally size people up. I was like, she's not that big. Then you get on the court, you're like, she's not that far from the rim. Right. These girls stretching on the net. Like, all right, maybe I try something different this week.
Work on the floor again, bring them out to the outside.
Boy, I got little handles for sure. She's not going to keep up. I'll get them knees to touch, cross over real quick, get to the basket.
So where did you attend high school?
When? Like what year?
Where?
Oh, I'm going to say, that's what we're doing?
No, come on. We ain't going to do that.
All right. I went to Bishop Loughlin in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Are we shouting them out? You sounded
Bishop Loughlin. I was just like, where the hell is this place? It's been so long.
Okay. AAU?
Oh yeah. Bishop Loughlin was definitely we were so there were 2 really good schools in our league. One you've probably heard of, Christ the King, and then there was Bishop Loughlin. So we ended up beating. We broke like 100 and 80-something game streak at home, and we beat Christ the King.
Wow.
It was interesting because they had a lot of names to call us. I'm like, we're in the same league. This the Catholic school league. What are y'all doing? But there was also a team that you could break any record on. So my sophomore year, I scored 60 points on this team called Saint Savior. They were not that good, but that's the team to do it on. You know what I mean?
60 balls on the one.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe the scouts here might be here tonight. You know what I'm saying?
If nothing else, the Daily News picked that up, and that was a clip my mom showed everybody at church, and I was happy about it.
Yeah, and the coach kind of called for leaving you in versus them too.
What? Absolutely.
He knew the game was over like second quarter. He's like, I'm gonna leave in. I'm gonna let it cook.
You know they spread that around the time.
Hey, give her the ball, bro. She almost got 60.
Yeah, listen, I was not trying to share.
No.
Everything was my iPad and my rebound stats. I was like, assist to only my good friend Adiola, and then that was it.
It was all you. I'm gonna get these bucks.
She turned the shooting slides all the way up, y'all.
I ain't mad at it. 60 points is crazy.
Nah, it's fun times.
Now, I heard you mention AAU.
Mm-hmm.
Am I mistaken or am I correct? Did you play for the Lady Gauchos?
Oh, yeah. I played for the Gauchos.
So
that's another story program.
Oh, man. No, the Gauchos, I mean, anyone who knows anything about New York City basketball, all the legends come from the Gauchos. And when they had that little low backboard, man, that was a female dunk. You was getting clapped on consistently. One hand, two hand. I'm pinning shots against the backboard.
You caught people slipping them.
What? Absolutely. Okay. Well, I'm sitting at home.
Oh,
We started a fast break off of that clap.
Oh, man. I was just at my granny house with my little brother. He was walking through the little opening, and then you know how you get the paper ball. Poster.
Dunk on him.
That's a must.
You already know what it is. But did you play with anybody notable that we may know out here? You know, I know there's a lot of alumni.
Yeah, I mean, well, Nisha Butler was on our team. Trying to think who, you know, like a lot of people were on that I played against in AAU really good. That, but on my team it was real small. We won a lot. We won a lot against a lot of teams you weren't supposed to.
You weren't supposed to? Why'd you say that?
Well, that happens often. Like my coach, Walter, shout out to Walter Welsh, best coach in the world.
Shout out to you, Walt.
Yeah, he told me something very early in my career is don't try, get it done, regardless of whatever's in front of you. Like, just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean that it can't be. And he was very big on that. Like, this team hasn't lost. They're going to lose tonight. It's like, and you believe it. Right, and that's part of the mission is like you got to buy into the dream, and if you don't buy into the dream, you know. Also, like talking like my team, also at St. John's was kind of the same way. Mm-hmm. They were a losing team when I got there, and like coming from like Walter's program, you always, you know, they bleed like you bleed, so like they're human. So like we're playing against UConn, and everyone's like UConn's never lost. We're gonna flush him out tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna
Let's see. Diana Charles tried to break my neck. Still went to the basket.
See, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, I was like, this girl's way bigger than they say. She is not 6 feet.
How tall you say?
She's like 6'3".
Okay.
Wow.
6'3", 2 guard?
62 guard.
What? Yeah, then you like Barbara Turner was like 5'9". They had her listed as the 4, and then they had Diana Taurasi listed as a 2. When they came out, I was like, this is strange. It's strange. This girl's shooting from the hash mark. What are we doing?
So let me ask you. I'm gonna just jump in a little bit, and then we're gonna come back to where we are. But on a level of difficulty, mentally, do you feel as if that upbringing and that mind state got you prepared for what you're doing right now in the boxing arena?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like playing basketball, you always got to be considerate of like all the different pieces, all the different plays, all the wrinkles in the play, seeing if everybody's up and ready to play that game, right? So you got to, you know, the locker room really matters because you got to, you know, get everybody up to the speed of where, you know, the leader is and driving that, and also being able to communicate the game plan, also the wrinkles, seeing what's going on in front of you, on the side of you. Like there's so many different parts with basketball. With boxing, I'm like, it's just me and you. I feel like that's like if it comes down, I feel like if it comes down to like me having a dog fight, I feel comfortable being the dog that wins.
Hey.
Man, hold it.
February 2nd.
I like that.
It's true.
Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, okay, I can see how that works. Now I will say this: we see the feet work definitely translate. Would you say that?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna reel it back in, but I know you said you were, I guess, not touted heavily in the collegiate ranks at a time. Where your team itself?
Oh, my team was trash. Oh, it was so bad.
What made you pick St. John's?
So I didn't. Originally. So ridiculous. Kids should not be making this decision alone. So originally, I was being like at camp. I had a lot of like schools, so they can't necessarily. So there's so many different rules with the NCAA. People can't just go and be like, "Hey, I want you to come to my school." So they'll send their athletes over. So at the Adidas camp, you'll have the athletes who are there working camp, and their coaches are all there. So they'll send the athletes over to talk to you and engage interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there were a couple schools, some really big schools, but they were making it clear that I would have to redshirt a year, right? So in my head, I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm at All-American, clearly one of the better people in my division. I mean, in my position in the whole country. Why would I redshirt and not play a whole year? It's never happened in my life. Terrible decision. So the magazine calls you and they're like, hey, what school are you going to? I decided to go to George Mason University.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, we know George Mason, but that's the big difference from St. John.
Right. But also the same. They're pretty much in the 300s. It was not a good school. So I went there and, they don't have all the things that I'm used to. Like they don't have anything going on. You know what I'm saying? Man, also it's just like you get one pair of sneakers. Oh, it's rich. Nah, not gonna happen. You know what I mean? The practice is like most of the girls on the team, they were like having a great time, hanging out, drinking. Like that's not the Gauchos way, right? No additional like workouts on their skill sets. They're like nothing from that interaction was, to me, like I wanted to go home.
Oh,
almost immediately.
Culture shock.
I was like, this is trash. I want to go home. So I called Walt and he starts gauging like interest with other teams, but you can't just leave, right? Technically you're there stuck for a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no transfer portals at this time.
At that time, no. So also no NIL deals. So I don't know. It's trash.
I knew she was gonna mention that.
This is the worst.
All right. So look, we're gonna ask this. NIL was around, you would have cleaned up.
I would have listen. My personality kind of is like I'm really goofy most of the time. So I imagine if the internet was around, I probably would have gotten into some trouble.
No.
Okay, it was good. Okay, I got you.
Definitely would have gotten
beating people up in them bodegas will do it. That'll do it.
Yeah. I also this is past the statute of limitation.
Okay.
But I also used to steal all the signs on campus. Like you couldn't find a bus stop, a one-way sign. They were definitely at my house. I was having a good time.
But why?
Because I had nothing else to do, and being a menace is who I am at my core. So I stole all the signs, every last one. Yes, they were all in my
restroom signs,
library signs. I just whatever. There was a Chick-fil-A sign. I'm stealing it.
I'm rocking with it. I mean,
I had a good time
because like you would have got the NIL money, but they would have been like, "Man, why you got all these signs? What's going on?"
It's a sign. I want out.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
I want out.
so from George Mason to St. John, how was the transition from George Mason to St. John's?
So, so like the culture shift, right? So like George Mason was like, and not that great of an experience. Then when I go, part of the reason I chose St. John's really is because my dad got really sick.
Oh,
and my dad had a stroke. So it was like, I need to go home and help my mom. And my sister was still in high school. So I was like, I'm going back home. St. John's wasn't anywhere near a first choice because I wanted to go to a winning team. And if that was my argument, then of course flawed by picking St. John's because they were like the last team under Providence who still isn't any good. So yeah, so I ended up going to St. John's because, you know, my dad was sick. The coach wasn't used to having a winning team. She came from a D2 school, which was also like controversial because people were like, how is she going to develop a D1 culture? Mm-hmm. But a lot of people started coming over. So Kia Wright left UConn, Greba Barlow left G-Dub, and that ended up being the foundation of this new team. So me, Greba, and Kia.
And all these New York people?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like Greba, we met All-American camp. Kia was like one of the top recruits in the nation, point guard wise. And then they brought over this girl, Angie Clark, who I don't know what she was made of, but the girl was like 5'10", grabbed the rim right under the basket.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Angie was a beast.
It's safe to say y'all was steel sharpen steel, iron sharpen iron in that practice court.
Yeah, it was very clear. So like she also used to run these practices that were kind of strange where like she would say every practice is how you earn your spot. And, you know, you're young enough to be fooled by that. So you play really hard in practice. Yeah. Like, you know, it's a kind of dumb, like looking back, because I was like, there was no way that these girls are going to take our spot. But we trained as if, and we practiced as if it wasn't like an opportunity. So we used to soul crush the white team. Oh. The red team would just like soul crush them.
Just doing the bench dirty. Yeah, just doing the bench dirty.
A lot of coaches, basketball coaches, their aim is to make the practice harder than the games. They want to get the best out of you. They want to try to psych you out of it.
Yeah, but it was also like ridiculous because if you think about it, if we had preserved ourselves, we probably would have had longer careers because everyone had injuries. You know what I mean? You can't Nick Saban every single practice.
Right. That's kind of the old school mentality. But they want you to give it all in practice and give up. Like, I only got this. It's a deposit here. Yeah, there's only so much I can continue to give.
Yeah, we got Rutgers. Like Cappy and them are not practicing that hard. Essence is not practicing. They practice long, but it's mostly not that hard. They don't want to.
Now I'm gonna shoot your coach some bail because it did work out. Y'all went from being unranked to what, 12?
Well, we were like, so we went from, well, it was over a period of time, but it's not because of the coach. You can't blame the success on the coach. I'm sorry.
It's all about the people on the floor.
Right, because if you blame it on the success of the coach, then it would have happened again at Michigan, but it didn't.
Okay.
Yikes.
Mic drop right there. She said they were number 12 because of them killers on the court. What got y'all to that point to be like, we sick of losing this time and go ahead and turn up? When was the turning point? That's what I like to.
So I feel like in every single basketball team, the core group literally is the energy of the team. Mm-hmm. And regardless of what was going on outside in my life, when I got in the court, it was just like the happiest place. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind working hard, and if the goal is for us to win, like if that needs to happen, give me the ball, give Kia the ball, give, and we all trust in each other. Like the trust in the team from the core members really allowed everyone to want to step up. It was like, I mean, granted, it's girls basketball. Women's basketball is always, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of drama, and that's the season of the team, right? It makes it good sometimes.
Okay.
But also we're cool about kicking people off the team that weren't, up to
Earning their
snuff.
keep.
Yeah, so like there were a lot of people who ended up leaving. You know what I mean? Because it's just like if you're not gonna work hard, go somewhere else.
Yeah, they're being held accountable.
If you're not gonna give it 100%, bounce. Like we don't need it. We have something that we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to
all working towards
100%. If you're not gonna be a part of that, get out of here.
I understand you wholeheartedly, 110%. As you can see, Culture Network, Who's Up Sports. I take my team against anybody out there in the media, man. But let's speed up a little bit. Now, we're past high school, college. Obviously, you went pro. You played pro overseas, if I'm not mistaken, to Czechoslovakia, to Puerto Rico, to just to name a few, like 4 or 5 countries? Austria, okay.
Talk about
Italy.
overseas experience. Like they try to paint it like it was on the what's my movie, Love and Basketball?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Let's talk about the overseas experience though. You remember when she went overseas? They tried to paint it like that. Like, yeah, tell us the real though.
Monica and Quincy.
Monica went overseas, got a little Italian, championship, eating dinners, enjoying. Tell me about the real though. That's what I want to know.
So I feel like it also matches up with my Team USA experience. No one likes Americans. No matter where you go, they know for a fact that you're not from the country. And it really kind of depends. Like over time, people become almost numb to it. But the players on the team know you're getting paid more than they are. Yeah, by a lot. Yeah, like in some cases I was getting paid 4 times more than people who are natives of the but then on top of that, like I get premier housing, I have a driver, I got bonuses. Like my life is a little bit different than theirs, and of course if things don't work out I can just go home.
But you were nicer to them, so
but that's not how you view it. You know what I mean? This is my team, this is my country. You come in, you're getting paid more. Also, you kind of get to make these absurd requests.
So,
give me an example of an absurd request that you made. I'm curious.
Well, I don't like cold cuts for breakfast, right? So the European breakfast is a bunch of cold cuts and like little pieces of bread and like cheese. And I was like, where's that eggs and bacon? And they're willing to do that. Everybody else will have whatever is out.
Yeah.
But I don't want to eat that.
She done revamped the menu. Okay, I ain't mad at it. She like, give me what I want.
I want some eggs and bacon. We had a game today. So like, that's not as absurd, but it's just like, this is what's available, and I don't want that. And I can make that request if I don't like.
Makes sense.
Were you not at all worried maybe my teammates might jump me or my teammates?
I wish they would. I wish they would.
Yeah. I don't think she's really scared of the jumping.
I wish they would jump
from the
me.
bodega to Czechoslovakia. She don't care.
Nah. I'm going to sleep well.
I said her hands travel worldwide.
You get hit with a brick.
International passport for these hands.
Right. It's like you like, I'm not worried.
I had never really considered that would even be an option. Like them being upset about it is, of course, personal preference.
Right.
Like if you don't like my request, it's not for you. It's really because I'm hungry.
Right. It's a personal preference and it's their personal problem. So
100%.
So you just keep it rolling. How many years were you overseas throughout your basketball journey?
Well, like 2.5.
2.5. What was the best place you played at?
My favorite place is not technically overseas, but it was Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was mad fun.
Okay.
Also, we played a lot. So we almost played like every other day. Yeah, it was like, because it's a summer tournament. So like it's that time in between. So like whenever the WNBA would happen, the Puerto Rican league is happening. And it pretty much ends at a time where you can go and pick up your European team. So you don't have to go to preseason, because European preseason is not that great. It's a bunch of running. It's not like how you know it as here, like skill building and team development. It's just like running.
It sounds kind of like, was it like almost like an AAU schedule?
What, the Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah,
but it was like broken. Well, no, you would just it's the league games, but since it's so condensed in time, they get their money's worth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so it might be a quadruple header in a day.
Yeah, no. You'll play Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know what I mean? But then come playoffs, the playoffs are actually I enjoyed it because it was like I was able to negotiate myself out of practice.
No, time out. We need the story. We need that.
She's like, I ain't hooping. I'm tired.
Like, listen, you're not gonna get 30 points and 15 rebounds. If I gotta practice after the next day after a game. I need to rest.
Did you sit coach down? How did that come about? How did you negotiate?
Well, so I got there and the team, because Greba was there. Okay. So Greba calls me and she's like, "Yo, we need you down here." And just like that, the coach called me, sent a ticket. I came down for a workout and they were like, "This is perfect." And then I started playing. So I was shooting 50% and also scoring like 30 points, 15 rebounds a game. So we were having, and also like I'm a good team person because I'm like, me being successful doesn't mean that you can't be successful. Doesn't mean that we all can't do really well. So the team kind of liked that, idea of coming from somebody who's new and also successful. Like I don't have no problems with anybody, but we not gonna work me to death. Like it's not that, no disrespect to anybody, but I pretty much played, me, Greba, and there's another girl named Fee, played a lot. Like almost 90% of the game. I think the only time I've ever sat on the bench was during timeouts. So we played a lot. So you're going to ask me to then now come in and practice? Like that's an NBA request.
Yeah, like what we talking about? We talking about practice?
I'm still going to be good. I'll be better. I was like, I'll be better off if we were able to like rest. And it worked out for all the starters. Yeah. I didn't speak for myself. I am a union rep.
There you go.
I will say this. I feel as if everything you're explaining in your background, it seemed like it all worked out for you in the end because you can transfer all of this into your new boxing career.
Yeah.
The mental state of getting your mind ready to work, the stamina, which, as you said, really only hit the bench during timeouts.
That was it.
So you back in for a full court all game. You're also playing against other professionals, so you are. It's not YMCA.
No. Right, you're being battle tested for sure.
Shout out to the YMCA though. No diss.
Yes.
Show your love.
Shout out to the Y for sure.
hey, whatever Danielle say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's my Kevin Nash to Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Talk the game in front of her.
Taking it back for sure. I like that.
But let's go ahead and just get to the nitty gritty because we've talked about your background and your athletic background and just where you came from, your childhood. Let's get into this square circle. Y'all see us, we're in a boxing ring. We're in a boxing gym.
Come on.
So it's looking about that time, as y'all know the lyrics.
Yeah.
How did you initially get into boxing? What is the story behind that?
Yeah.
So, being competitive majority of my life, after like recovering from like my accident, I wanted to just get in shape again. I never really thought about competing. And there was a trainer at my gym who used to hold mitts for people. And I was like, I feel like all the goofballs do this and it's not that bad. It seems like it's fun. It's a little bit of sweating, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I feel like boxers also were always in great shape, for the most part. So it was like, this would be the easiest way to get back in shape. So that's how it started. I wanted to like get in shape. And then it turned into, do you want to fight? Yeah, I was like, I don't want to fight.
Right.
I want to get it. I just want my abs back. I don't want to. I mean, because not knowing anything about the sport except for being a spectator, all you know is that people get punched in the face. That's all. I'm not trying to get punched in the face. I'm not trying to have a black eye or a busted lip. Because in basketball, that happens. You'll catch an elbow in the face, and as a person who's gotten plenty of elbows in the face, I have a zipper stitches from someone splitting my lip wide open. Because, you know, I get under somebody and they do their quarter turn and knock me straight out.
Especially girls, I like to pivot, box
elbows out, screens. I've been flipped on screens. So I know I've been, you know, clip going up for layups. I know the pain of a sport, and that's supposed to be like a non-contact sport. So I'm anticipating boxing is going to be absolutely just getting hit with baseball bats all the time.
Full contact, for sure.
Well, that makes me want to ask you, did you get into any scuffles during your basketball?
All the time. I always, no, you hit me with like, I got 5 to give. We going to fight. We absolutely going to fight.
So were you the enforcer on the team? Or
absolutely. You hit somebody when you getting crunched.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm not just going to let you hit my I mean, because we a team.
Right.
So you're not just like blind screens, anything like that, you're getting folded. In fact, we all coming for you at some way, shape, or form. You're not just going to live your life throughout the next 40 minutes scot-free. You're going to be terrorized. We talking to you. We coming for you, and you getting hit.
Shout out to Ron Artest,
man. Shout out Charles.
He went to St. John's.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He went to St. John's. Ron went to St. John's.
He did. Ron. Yeah, Ron wanted all the smoke too, just like
absolutely. You're not gonna just absolutely not. Nah, you getting hit.
So you went in on the. I tell y'all a little brief. It's a lot of boxers.
All right, let's go.
Everybody's gonna laugh at this. And so brace yourself. I mean, first time I went to a boxing gym, like you said, you saw somebody working on the mitts. Now me, you know, as y'all can see, I'm a light-skinned guy, so I grew up fighting because, you know, people would be like, "Oh, you white," and I used to be like, "Bro, I'm not white, and I'll show you I'm not white." But that's no disrespect to anybody out there. But now I'm not undefeated. But I will say this: the first time I went to a boxing gym, I understand now why y'all wrap y'all hands, because I called myself punching on the speed bag. Man, I went home, my hand was busted, like literally bleeding. And there's a finger I have here. This finger here, I used to be double jointed in it, and I used to pop my bone out. I did that. I cannot do that anymore at all. Whatever I did on that speed bag, literally embarrassed my own self. I was covering my hands the whole time. The rest of the time I was in the gym, just
good God,
trying to make sure nobody saw me.
Goodness.
I'm
But
gonna tell you, man, what Snoop Dogg tell y'all. There's 2 things you can't play with. You can't play with boxing, and you can't play with this pimp. That's fact. You can't play boxing.
Major facts.
So, yeah.
Major facts.
So I bring that up also to ask you, who stepped in, noticed the talent or noticed the skill, and said, you know, you got something going for you. Let me work with you.
So, I mean, along the way, I've come across so many coaches. Mike Pastor, I worked with him. He was, I think, Fury, UFC fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Then I worked with his coach, Juan. But Juan had like some hip limitations, and he was like, "You move really well, so you need to find like another coach who can move with you. I can't move with you the way that you like," which was like eye-opening because I just thought, you know, I thought we had like gotten a bond, and I liked working with him. But he's like, "You've gotten to a point now, you need to move on." So then I went over to X-Boxing with Jordan Maldonado and Amanda Serrano and Cindy. And I worked over there, and Jordan like put me on this conditioning, like the conditioning of what conditioning of boxing looks like. Mm-hmm. But he was over there building like straight fighters. Like he put me in there. He was like, "Go."
Did you ever got any work with the sisters?
Yeah.
Really? You're much bigger than them.
Yeah, so the one time I worked with Amanda, she was fighting a girl who was like 5'9", and they wanted to work on like reach and just see like where, you know, the placement was. And they didn't have anybody else in the gym, so there were only 3 females, just the 3 of us. And they were like, "All right, you know," they're like, "She hits hard," and I was like, I think I'll be okay. No, because I mean she's smaller. Not that she doesn't hit hard, because I can tell you for a fact the girl got pressure on her punches for her size. Period. Like that. Okay. No way, shape, or form. First time I was like, "Didn't you hit people your size like that?" She's strong. Like she says that she's strong. I can attest that I've been hit by her and I've been like impressed. Like I've also been hit by other people her weight class, and I'm just like, oh, that's the reason why you don't knock anybody out.
Right.
Little pat.
But Amanda, I was like, oh shit, this girl's got some pop. She's strong. Cindy, on the other hand, was like very elusive, very smart, good with her footwork. They're just two very different boxers. But the gym essentially had like some limitations. So I went on to Gleason's.
Okay.
And I started training at Gleason's, and I met so many different world champion boxers, worked with like a lot of different people. And my coach over there, his name was Q. He was a cool dude. And that's where I won like my first Golden Gloves in New York City on my second fight. And it was just like, boom. But then, of course, I had to move, and I moved down to Houston. And at first I was like, I'm not going to be able to find boxing here, because I'm like, you can't leave Gleason's. What's in Houston that's comparable, right?
Hey,
had no idea.
We
I
got
had no
something
idea.
Nice town. Don't be sleeping.
Yeah, I had no idea. This is a place where you can find some real serious boxing, and if you're not careful, you will get beat up. And one of my first sparring partners, Darius, used to beat my ass on a regular basis. It taught me a lot, but also it made me understand that if you're going to do boxing, you better be prepared. You better be prepared to, every single time you step in the ring, it's a gut check.
I literally was just about to ask you this, because I know when y'all training and getting ready, putting in work, picking sparring partners, I know usually you try to get somebody bigger to simulate power, somebody smaller to simulate speed, depending on who your opponent is, obviously.
Sure, there's a lot of both in this gym.
But what I want to know is, how do you simulate your stature, your height? You're bigger than the rest of these girls. How do we do this? How does this work? Men? We get men?
It's always men. Okay. I always spar with men, always have. I mean, there are some females in our gym that I spar with now, but that's very recent. For the last 7 years, it's only been males. And then like mostly recently, we've gotten Sam in the gym, who's like, it's really hard. I like that though. I like the fact that if you're gonna come into the ring, bring it with everything you got and the confidence of who you are. Like that makes sparring fun.
Okay. So when you're in there sparring with the guys, do you tell them like, put it on me, like don't give me a easy, don't be easy with me, like give me your full strength, show me how it's gonna really be out there?
I don't think I have to tell anybody that.
Oh, they just put it on you from jump?
Yeah, I mean, the point of them being here is to level me up, right? So like them coming in and like taking it. Also, I'm kind of hard-headed. Like I will start to talk to you and like really kind of bring out I will antagonize you.
I know you're not antagonizing Darius.
I do. He ended me with a body shot because I did.
Oh man. We're gonna have to pull up to the gym and catch some of these sessions, man.
But I see a lot coming from all the way back then when you telling us to the playing basketball to boxing. You got a chip on your shoulder.
I'm ridiculous.
Man, it's like not a chip, you have a boulder. You ain't got no chip, you got a boulder just sit right there, and you just like, hey, y'all keep playing with me, I'm gonna give y'all something to play with. And so like, you didn't want to box at first, you just wanted to get the abs back. What was that moment that just, okay, I want it. Now I want to be great? So,
someone saying that it couldn't happen.
Well, okay.
So,
right to it. When somebody tell you can't do something, you like that.
I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Watch me become the #1 heavyweight in the world. Watch me make Team USA. Watch me, blah, blah, blah. So, I feel like in most cases, if you really want something, you got to say it. Mm-hmm. And if you believe it, you got to follow through.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of steps in between, right? I feel like a lot of people lose in process, like the things that they say they want to do, because it seems hard. But if you're a committed athlete, once you get into the groove of things, you just continue through the process regardless of how difficult it is, because that's part of the sacrifice that you got to make in order to be a champion.
100%.
Exactly. As my partner, one of my close brothers, investing stock, says, fear is just a feeling, and feelings aren't facts. That's all you got to think about in your head, man. It's just a feeling, man. Just something that'll come in your body, a little sensation. Go right through it, man. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been put on the canvas in sparring?
Yeah, I spar men.
So
But if I say, "Oh, give me 100%," and you do, and I get caught, it's what it is. I get up. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna get up.
That's what I like.
So what? You
Okay.
listen. I'm not fighting nothing like you.
Okay.
So like, if you put me down, so be it. You supposed to.
Right.
So if you put me like I'm not embarrassed by that.
You ever put somebody down?
Fuck yes,
Oh, yeah, so,
absolutely.
Yeah. So it
go both ways.
It go both ways like a freeway.
Yeah, no,
I understand that's how it
you
goes.
getting dropped, me getting dropped. Listen. I always say I'm really hard headed.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
okay.
it's probably like in my best interest at times, but it's what it is.
But I think this is the best arena for it right here, being hard headed. I mean, because obviously you learn how to channel different things and understand it's a time to go, it's a time to read, but just to spar with men and get that strength, it kind of builds you up to where you kind of went on a nice little run to start your pro career. And, you know, then we got a major one coming up. So, okay.
Right before we get to the pro career, I do want to ask the feeling of getting a gold medal.
Yeah, that's major. So,
What's the feeling? How does that feel? What's going on in your mind?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had the feeling before I even started the tournament. I like visualized it and believed in it before it even started.
Okay.
So like when it happened, it was just like,
I'm supposed to be here.
this is it. Yeah, this it. This is it. So like I said before, the process of all of it really was just kind of following through.
Okay.
But before we even left, like, because there was like a huge, like, so if I take it back to like, I got disqualified from Worlds because I tore my knee up in India. And I said to myself then, because the girl from China won, I was like, I'm going to beat her at Worlds next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is going to happen. So
Who was that, Zane?
I was like, I'm going to be her next year at Worlds. And this is as I'm currently getting MRIs and x-rays to see, like, I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm coming back. I had to like, requalify for Team USA, rehab, all that other stuff. But I was like, this tournament starts. I know for a fact I'm going to get this girl in the championship because she's better than everybody else. Yeah. And I'm going to destroy her.
That's what's up. Because that's the same stuff you took from ball, though. Like, the same when you was going against UConn, same thing you going against the Worlds. Like, it's like any setback I get, any obstacle I get, I'm going to learn from it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to come back stronger, and I'm going to go get what's mine.
Absolutely.
It belongs to me.
It is. It's mine.
For sure.
Now, it seems like you keep going into these settings where you're just different. That's all I'm saying. You're much different. And the reason why I say that is because you started much later than the rest of these prospects that were boxing at the time in the amateur ranks. Is there a stigma behind that? Is like, do they treat you a certain way? Do they look at you like, you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah, until we get in the ring, everyone's going to beat me up. Everyone's better than me.
You heard a lot of talk?
Yeah, 100%. It's always like that, which it's fine because I triumphant. So I don't mind. I've been told to my face, I'm going to knock you out. I was like, fantastic. I'll be there tonight. And let's see what happens. Like, you know, I don't shy away from it. The first person I ever that I beat in my first championship, it was my second fight. They have 44 fights, undefeated on Team USA. I was supposed to get destroyed. Mm-hmm. Everyone I've ever fought has more fights than me, has way more experience than me. Doesn't bother me.
It don't matter because that mental is already there.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is I trust in what I have. Mm-hmm. And in that, usually I cause issues with people's ability to trust what they have.
Mm. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get to it then. Yeah, let's get to Floyd. Let's speed it up, man, because
meat and potatoes.
February 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know, we are live in Michigan, Flint to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
We have a undisputed heavyweight title matchup. This is something that people dream of.
Yeah.
And like I say, your background is different. It seems as if you just keep getting there every time. So how does it feel to be in this moment first? Just the moment itself.
I mean, well, I don't know how to describe it. I probably should be feeling some other kind of way. I'm like, let's go ahead and fight already.
Okay,
You know, it's just like the anticipation of this event has become so much more bigger than my emotions in the event.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very calm and I'm ready.
Now, I said, I remember what I said, Floyd. I said, we're not going to say contender. We're going to say future champion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all why I said that. A lot of people looked at me crazy when I was saying some things before I got here. Styles make fights. And particularly for this specific fight, this undisputed championship fight against Claressa Shields. For y'all that don't know, if you're hiding under a rock, that's who she fighting. The self-proclaimed GWOAT. I know y'all seen the movie trailers and all. Y'all know who that is. Come on now, stop playing. But styles make fights. Claressa, she is a true middleweight. Now she's fought super welterweight, multiple division champion.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't known for her power as far as knockouts. I watch a lot of Claressa's fights and she puts her combinations together. She's a great counterpuncher as well. She's never fought anybody this tall, this big, this stature. I like your feet. The feet work. Like I said, your feet work is there. Her last opponent, I don't want to disrespect anybody. I respect everybody that does something professionally. So I'm just going to say her last opponent was not you. If there's if y'all can read in between the lines, she's not you. And what I mean by that is you're an entirely different type of fighter, a entirely different type of animal. You all right. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but you're not gonna be throwing them little slow hooks that I saw. That I'm gonna just be honest with.
It's true.
The double jab. I've seen you work the double jab before. I've seen you come behind it as well. That seems to be maybe a kink in the armor of Claressa. We've seen her touch canvas before from a much smaller fighter at that. She's not known as a powerful fighter, not known as a KO artist. So I'm building all this up to say, in my opinion, you have the best opportunity to give us one of the best upsets in boxing history. Forget if it's men or women. Because in my opinion, you're built to stop her. You're built. I don't want to say stop. I'm not doubting your power. Don't get me wrong. But you're built to beat her.
Mm.
Is there anything that you've seen? Now, I don't want you to give away your game plan, obviously. Okay. But is there anything you've seen you could just like yes or no, I guess, that you know for sure you're going to attack on February 2nd?
I mean, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's very loaded.
Very loaded.
I don't want you to tell us specifics because I don't want to give up your game plan. But is there something that you've seen that you like?
Well, if it's a yes or no question, the answer is yes. We've seen some things that essentially are good opportunities for us, that really will separate the two of us. In addition to the size and the strength, there's some opportunities for sure to separate us relatively early in the fight.
Early. Okay. So, who was that? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name right. Was it Fahey?
Oh, Fahi.
Fahi? You got to work early in them rounds on her.
Well, the thing is, she kind of screwed up our game plan because she was supposed to be 5'9". So when I got to the weigh-ins, I even looked her in the face. I said, "You're not 5'9". She said, "No, I'm 6 feet, and I'm gonna ruin your night." And I was like, "Great."
Safe to say that didn't happen, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
was like, "Damn it, she's not 5'9". So adjustments had to be made, of course, in real time. So first couple of rounds, she's like shooting her jab, and I'm like trying to adjust to like this potential 3 additional inches.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, once I got her cadence down, I was like, I'm gonna break her nose.
Yeah, you do a great job of reading the timing. But I mean, I think it's good that you and Claressa are fighting because everybody's ducking you too. Don't nobody want to fight you. Well, I don't want to fight you specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people want to fight her because like she does come with a very good paycheck.
Right. But people, you've had fights that you set up for, and you like, I can't get this person on the phone. They don't want to fight me.
No.
They said they wanted to fight me earlier or through social media, through a person.
Social media is the worst.
It's so bad.
Oh my God.
I've seen so many potential fights for you, but when it comes down to sign the paperwork, people like get Casper.
Absolutely ghost.
Casper, sick, COVID. I mean, I'm pretty sure you heard it all.
Yeah,
I'm not
definitely.
mad at that,
No, it's what it is.
We definitely heard the COVID.
We definitely heard the COVID a few times.
Or actually, I died.
Right.
I died. I can't make the fight.
That is crazy.
Come on now.
But this is major for y'all too, because I do feel like this is, she coming to your world. Like she's coming up to heavyweight. So.
I mean, I always say this, and I say this with the utmost respect for Claressa taking this fight. Like, no one knows who I am until she takes this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have been, my whole career, I could have been absolutely hidden. I could have literally become the unified heavyweight champion, and no one would have known until the WBC posted all their champions. Like, no one would have any idea who I was. She takes this fight, and all of a sudden, people are like, "She gonna knock you out." I'm like, "Oh, you know my name."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Claressa gonna sleep you. I was like, "Great." You know what I'm saying? At least good press, bad press, it's all press. Pay me.
Yeah. As long as the check clear with you, huh? What you say if it's free as me?
Listen.
Hey, even the haters got to do their job.
Absolutely.
You ain't gonna stop them because that's your marketing team.
Yeah, no, it's what it is. People are not gonna listen. Everyone's not gonna like you, and I do understand. Like, she has longevity in the sport, and also they know who she is, and me being an unknown, like to a casual boxer, like makes sense.
Now she is coming in as the self-proclaimed, but to a lot of boxing enthusiasts, she's looked at as the GWOAT, the greatest woman of all time. And, some may say Layla, some may even throw in a Serrano in there. Some, there's some debates out there. But with a person that comes with that much attention, that much just star power and history behind her, does that change your mindset in it? Like, I know you're not intimidated.
No, it doesn't change my mindset. I mean, I feel like if you step in the ring with someone and you're starstruck, you don't belong there.
Okay.
You shouldn't be in the ring with them. Like, I know for a fact if today Darius got a fight with Canelo, he's not over here thinking how great Canelo is. He's figuring out, the game plan, how to attack, and how to win the fight. That's what's most important. Whoever's standing across from you should only have one goal, and the goal is to win. So who she is outside the ring, that's who she is in the ring. They're not the same people to me.
Okay. I mean, well, we seen that. We see you try to take some belts the other day, huh?
Oh,
try to, you know what I'm saying? I know we got to get the promo on, you know what I'm saying? We coming for them belts, Claressa.
Well, and 2 more, +2.
Yeah, of course, undisputed. So that means we're taking them all.
Everything. And like, this is big for the sport of women boxing. I feel like with Claressa, she does what she does, but for her to, even continue to make those, she has the utmost respect for you too. So
yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah. Like it's a respect factor. I think those make the best fights. You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody goes in there too cocky, that's just opportunity. But it's like respect on both sides. So we're gonna have a good one. Like it's gonna be one that we want to remember for women's boxing and boxing in general, because I feel like the resurgence is coming. I feel like kind of spearheading it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be a part of this. This is a great opportunity. I'm excited.
I love it.
If I'm not mistaken, what is this? The first? Is this the first all African American heavyweight undisputed championship fight
For females, yes.
for fe-
Mhm.
How does that feel? Does that make you feel any way? Does it? No, you just like this. My moment. I'm
Yeah,
gonna live in
I
it.
was like, I'm supposed to be here. I feel like I don't feel like I don't belong. I also don't feel like overwhelmed. Now,
Mhm.
granted, there are some mornings I wake up to with so much hate mail, but I'm cool.
You got the trolls, Cindy.
You got the
Yeah,
trolls.
they are consistent. I give you that. They yeah.
But I mean, how they gonna say
I'm not worried
Claressa
about
gonna knock you out?
No, not she gonna sleep me.
How they gonna say that though? And what Claressa has what is 7 or 8 KOs? How many?
3.
She's not a knockout artist.
Doesn't matter. That's the. I mean, listen. The last girl before that, she was 15 with 2 knockouts, and then she sleeps old girl from Canada, essentially a Drake.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
And it was yeah, it was coming. And that's where we are. So the idea now that she is a knockout artist, that she is now 100% KO rate at the heavyweight division.
I mean, but
That's a fact.
let's be honest though, Danielle.
Being honest.
That girl not your size. She's not.
No. I mean, essentially, she was like 5'6".
That's what I'm saying. Claressa is used to fighting people basically on her eye level.
Well, in the last 15 fights, but
Look up.
I'm gonna tell you, overseas though, no, the American team is the smallest team.
Okay.
So like, I've sparred with the silver medalist for her last gold medal.
Mhm.
That girl is my height.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, when I say there's some opportunities, but awareness, I'm fully aware because I sparred that girl. And I was just like, you make 165? All right, cool. And she's got reach. She's got power.
165 with middleweight, super middleweight.
Mm-hmm. That's what she fought, 75 kg. And I enjoy sparring that girl because like she'll stand and fight with you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, she's definitely fighting bigger opponents. She has like in her amateur career, but as a pro, like it's been 15 fights of either same size or smaller. So there's gonna be an adjustment.
Now she's known to make adjustments round to round.
Yeah, no, she's a smart fighter. Also fully aware.
It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be exciting.
I'm fully aware.
I am excited for this women's boxing. Obviously, the landscape has taken an uptick recently. I mean, there are a lot of stars out here, from Claressa, yourself, to the Alicia Baumgartners out there, to the Serrano sisters we named, to the Fendora. I believe it's Gabrielle Fendora.
She's incredible.
Talent.
She's
I think she's
incredible.
better than her brother.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think she's better than her brother.
Oh well.
Gotta throw up there. Let's see what
Yeah.
the streets talking about.
Yeah, I mean, look, the girl, they're very similar, but the way she knocked that last girl out was phenomenal.
No, it's
I was like, the same uppercut her brother throws.
Her brother, I think he has it. I just haven't really seen him in that supreme talent level as far as like his opponent. I mean, we rumored. Well, the rumor now just got dispelled. They said no more Errol Spence, but you boxing, you never know. You never know.
That's a hard fight to take coming back.
You
It
saw
is.
what he did to Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. It's a hard fight for Spence coming back. He got knocked out
For sure, for
last
sure.
fight. I feel like one of the should be fight of the year. That was one of the best fights I've seen. I mean, demonstration of quality boxing. It was 100% one-sided.
BTA.
But I feel like that was, as a fan of Crawford's, I was like, this is phenomenal boxing.
It is. I mean, he went to school.
Yeah. He said
but it was just crazy because we expected a little bit more from him.
no one did. Not on this side. Not on this side. Not on this side. I was like, no. Especially when your boy came out southpaw, I was like,
Nah.
what in the world?
It's like he opened up a whole
With the fishnet.
Come on, man.
The big fish,
the
man.
big fish. I was like, with Eminem, I was like, this from the very beginning is a spectacle, and I love it.
Yeah. So you think people might advise them, be like, say, fam, this might not be.
He told him he was gonna knock him out on like several occasions,
And literally manhandled, did it.
Yeah, but I like the way he did it though, because he went after everyone that he fought and knocked him out.
Should we be expecting a performance like that from you on February 2nd?
Shit, that would be a blessing to make that shit happen early. Go home early, have some pudding. That'd be phenomenal.
we pitched a lot of fighters just now. Shout out to another woman fighter, Caroline Dubois, I believe that's her last.
Oh yeah.
I like her skills as well. Are there any fighters that you may, before we get into right now, are there any fighters that you may have seen beforehand or watched that you kind of might tailor your style after, or just that you might enjoy?
But female fighters?
Just fighters, period.
I love Muhammad Ali.
Of course, the greatest.
Yeah, I love, and King Kong. Those are my two favorites.
King Kong, who we talking about?
Luis Ortiz.
Wow.
My boy Luis, man. I thought he was gonna be like the next perennial powerhouse at heavyweight.
He's like 70 years old. He did his best.
Yeah. Agreed. Did the Wilder thing. And
yeah, Wilder was tough. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if he got these fights early on in his career, it definitely would have been a different change of tide. Like, so I don't know.
What about on the female side?
That I tailor my fighting style to?
No, just that you like. I don't like none of y'all. I'm the best. That's what she's saying in her head.
I mean, I like Alicia is a beast.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I like the way she puts her punches together and she like keeps her foot on the gas. I like that. I mean, sometimes watching women's boxing, I always think, where's your next gear? You know what I mean? No offense to anybody, but I feel like a lot of women sometimes, like men, like if I watch like old Earl fights, like Earl fights, and it's like he's collecting data. But I feel like there's not enough time in a fight where women, they always come out in that top gear because it's 2 minutes and it's rushed.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that rush, people don't really switch gears because they're constantly having to, the loss of those 60 seconds really kind of changed the landscape of the fighting. Whereas it's like I've watched Amanda fight 3 minutes and it's a different fight than when she has to fight her 2 minute fights. So yeah, the time makes a difference, but I know like there's all this science behind trying to protect women's brains and so forth. So the idea is you get hit real hard, real fast in 2 minutes instead of pacing it out and like allowing the fight to develop. So that's the science behind it.
Now I know Amanda and Katie specifically, they've been advocating to do the 3 minute rounds like the men's, for women as well. Are you an advocate of that as well, or?
Yeah, I think like 3 minutes is where it's at, right? Everyone's trying to fight for pay equality. Like that's big, right? And like women have also always fought for that. And you can't ask for more money and fight less amount of time. In addition, we lose 2 rounds in our championship fights. So like all championship fights for women are 10 minutes. I mean 10 minutes versus the men is 30 minutes. 20 minutes. So we lose 10 minutes in transition, right? So also
still 1 minute breaks in between.
Yeah, it's a 1 minute break, but I mean like at this point you kind of, especially the way people train, you see that the women are ready to get back into the ring, right? I mean, unless she's like out of shape. But majority of the time at this level, most women are not out of shape and they're relatively ready to get back into the ring. So I think 3 minutes is where we start to have pay equality, especially for championship fights. But if you want it all, you got to ask for it all. So 12 rounds, 3 minutes.
I agree. I believe that it should be on an even playing field. Y'all have shown the talent, the skill, the grit. Y'all have shown everything that needs to be shown for it to basically be passed and, make this law, obviously, for you guys. for you ladies, excuse me. Is there anything else that you believe in women's boxing that should be advocated, that there may not be a voice out there that you see for, that you might want to tell the people out there?
I mean, we're talking about women's rights. It's going to be a long interview.
Oh man.
You know, like there's
Just give me one thing that you think women's boxing needs right now.
like women need to get paid more money.
Okay.
I feel like even as you start your career, the thing is there's not that much depth. There's not much in terms of recruiting is another opportunity, because I feel like overseas there are a lot of great fighters and they never really get any opportunity to transition to pro because all the money's in amateurs, right? They get a stipend, they get housing, they get all of that, because living in general cost of living has gone up tremendously. So people need money, right?
Exactly.
They need consistency in their pay. And you get that as an elite amateur.
Mm-hmm.
Once you transition to pro, it's like when and where money will come. People can turn down contracts. Like your life is now like a complicated balancing sheet that if you don't have a full-time job or you don't leave with an Olympic gold medal, even with that, it's not guaranteed.
Coaches, promoters,
right? Housing.
politics.
Just think about just housing and general expenses. Like you got to have some money coming in consistently.
As you took advantage, like I said, because that's where that finance background comes from.
But most people don't even understand. Like you got to understand, like contracts in general are predatory for athletes,
of course.
Right? So most people don't understand percentages. Like, oh, I'm just going to give this person 25%. I'll give this person 15%. I'll give this person 25%. And you're looking around, you're already 60% out of your contract. But yeah, not even so. And no one ever thinks about the time in between. So like let's say you get a big contract, right?
Mhm.
And you consider it a big contract. It's 60% of it's gone. And you owe people. Let's say if you get hurt, right? And you can't fight right away. Now what's your next opportunity?
Yeah, because there isn't like is there like health insurance involved or any type of?
Listen, this is America. There is no health insurance.
I know that's
If
right.
I'm hurt, doctor, how much I owe?
Yeah, no, you gonna pay too. You better go to Colombia and get it fixed. Well, you are not getting paid.
Get out there. I ain't mad at you.
Let me pass it off to my co-host here. I know you have any questions that you have.
Yeah, just got a few more questions. So, as prepping for the big fight, what do you want people to know about you as a person? I think, like, what type of individual you are, because you're very, very, very calm, very, very mild mannered. In the ring, though, you turn into, let's just say, a different person. But you know, what does the world know about Danielle Perkins that they do not know?
Well, I mean, I don't know like how to explain. I think I'm out here. I'm relatively like a normal human being who shows respect to people. I feel like that's just normal. I don't feel like that, but I feel like I turn into like what I call the psycho teddy bear in the ring.
Okay, yes. That's what I needed to hear. I want to see the psycho teddy bear. It's very, very. I like that. And you know, I mean, it's not normal for people to be respectful. There's a lot of people out here that ain't got no respect.
But I mean, also like most of the time, their life is terrible.
Right. Exactly. So,
or you got to teach them some respect.
Yeah, and I get that. That also makes your life terrible.
That makes it fun. So I'm excited for this fight, Jay. I want to see it. I mean, hey, we want to see a new champion, don't we?
I think that we are going to see a new champion because
same.
We agree. I told y'all I'm the mouthpiece. Yeah. She the bully. Come on, man. Let's get it. So before we wrap it up and head out of here, I just want to. I would like for you, if you have anything to say for February 2nd, anything you want to tell the people out there, just anything that comes to mind as far as what they can be ready to see, why they should see you, as well as why they should pay more attention to you specifically as well too.
Well, I just want people to bet against me so I could pay off my house. That's what I'm looking
I
forward
told
to.
y'all one thing we learned, Danielle, about that check.
About the chicks.
I'm just
about
trying
the
to
cheese, ciabatta, all that. She need all that.
feel like I get misunderstood a lot.
Nah, trust me, we got you.
Well, if you don't know, now you know. We have Miss Danielle New Era Perkins, soon to be Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. We got one of the top contenders in the heavyweight division for sure. Gold medalist, as we said, Golden Glove winner. As storied background as far as trophies, and that goes for boxing and that goes for basketball on that court too. Um, for all y'all that don't know, here we are for the culture, by the culture. Make sure you tune in February 2nd. Order that fight now. It's going to be live on the Zone. Flint, Michigan. If you're in the city, pull up, get you a ticket, because this is one you don't want to miss. But as always, your main man, DJ Premium J. And as always, with my player partner and co-host.
Lloyd B, this has been a great interview. Got to meet Miss New Era, Danielle Perkins, and also the Psycho Teddy Bear in the ring. Y'all get ready. February 2nd is going down. It's going to be a beautiful fight. Going to be a lot of fun. And we, like my man said, we for the culture, by the culture. Peace.